My name is Roger Felton. I'm president of Felton Trading, and been trading for about 35 years. Started out in stocks. Never really liked doing all the homework. that was before we had the tools that we have today, especially computers and all the fantastic things they can do. But I've titled the presentation today, 30 Minutes That Can Change How You Trade Forever. And to get the most out of today's presentation, be sure and ask questions. I have my crew here, so I can just keep on going, and you guys ask questions. And like Dale said, while they're fresh in your mind, chat them in there, and you'll get an answer. If it's anything that needs anything of a technical nature that needs me to explain visually and audibly, I'll be glad to do that too. So asking questions, don't be bashful. I do want to start out by saying, and because I think this is really important, your system and training are really the key to success. Now, some traders are self-taught. I know some, and man, my hat's off to them because it took them 10, 12, 15 years to teach themselves. The problem there is that you pick up bad habits, and unless you're, really brutally honest with yourself and can step back and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Training yourself is difficult. Much better if you have a mentor. But your trading system is also important, and it's really your long-term financial partner. And it's got to fit your trading personality. It's got to fit your trading style and the individual account size, and everybody's different there. So choose yours wisely. My best advice is never just jump in and buy something on a whim. Whenever we rush to decision, purchasing, especially major purchases, whether it's automobiles, houses, or our spouses, and if we rush to it, it usually doesn't go well. Also, reaching your peak potential takes training and practice, lots of it. All right, let's get going. I could posted all my credentials up here, but I think the most important credential that a trainer, an instructor, a coach can have is, are they a trader? Can they empathize with what you guys go through on a daily basis, the battles you fight as you put on your armor and grab your weapons and go out there and flail away each day. Yeah, I'm a trader. In the trading room each day, this is not my personal trading because I've got to be focused. I can't be moderating a trading room when I'm trading, but I do take 2 contracts, just 2. I'm never in the market with more than 2 contracts per trade. And the reason I do that is because I want traders to see what they can do with just 2 contracts. And it's fairly small trading account. My goal is any 4-figure total, profit total, and you can see what I did today. This is kind of typical. I had I think 1,200 and something yesterday. Monday wasn't so good. Monday was 500 or 600. I can't remember. But my goal is to not make a 4-figure total each day. It's to average 4 figures over a week, the month. Usually by the end of the week, it's there. These are the stats. That 1302.50. These are the stats. You can see what I did. I took 8 trades, and then these were visible and audible to the group. And we both, me and my moderator, Mr. Clint Hager, who is, I believe, in the room, we believe in whether you're a student or not, you're going to have questions. And we make our trading room really a training room, and that's really what it's meant to be. We do have attendees as well as students asking questions, and if it just has anything to do with trading, then it's everything's fair game. You can see what it is. Two losers, two losers today, but the total together there was only $75. So I too believe in keeping the risk low and the profits high. I trade futures, and I'm also a scalper. You will see down there. I had one nice trade there for $740. I think that was in oil today. But I trade futures because, in my humble opinion, it offers the highest profit potential with the least amount of risk in the shortest period of time. I'll show you one trade making $300 in 30 seconds, $100 every 10 seconds. I can't do that in stocks or options or but you got to trade what you're comfortable with, and that's where a lot of traders make mistakes. They they get off in a trading vehicle that they're really not comfortable with. I feel right at home trading futures, but I'm not a trend trader. I used to be, but I just love the thrill of the hunt, and then get in, grab my money, and then go on to the next trade. Here is last year's totals. That's for the whole year of 2014, and you can see the totals are pretty good, and it's consistent. The system I use is really consistent. My goal as an educator, as an instructor, and a mentor is to teach my students how to do this and better. And you'll see, if you come into the trading room, you're going to meet some traders that are better than I am, but that to me is a perfect trading day. Let me make my goal, and then everybody beat me. That's a perfect trading day for me. All right, let's get down to some of the meat and potatoes of how I do what you just saw, and it really begins with choosing the right tools. You know, just like the Roman army. You know, as they go into battle with the Egyptians, for instance, one soldier, he'll run over and he'll grab a crossbow, and another one, he'll go over and he'll grab a shield and a spear, and somebody else will grab a cat o' nine tails, and somebody else runs over to the catapult. They use the weapons that they're most comfortable with, and the ones they're most comfortable with are the ones they're most confident in. And so I'm going to show you what I use and tell you why I feel that it's a superior vehicle. Now this is gold. This is today, and you can take any market. We've seen some charts today using 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. They all look pretty much like this. You see the market coming down and you know, little highs, and it's just zigzaggy, and it won't hold a color for more than a couple of bars, and then it's off in another direction, and then off in another direction. And I traded time-based charts for many years and taught with them. I used a 1 minute and a 3 minute combination for many years. But then I started looking around and playing with tick charts and range charts and Heikin-Ashi and you name it, and I did it. But I was about 4 years ago, I was looking at Renkos, and they weren't what I really wasn't. You know, there was something there. They weren't what I wanted, but there was something there. And I got with my programmer, Rod Armour, one of the best on planet Earth, and probably Jupiter and Neptune included. He knew when I talked to him and showed him on our voice video over internet vehicle, and he knew what I was looking for. And so he coded the Felton Trading Renko Supreme. And now you're seeing more and more platforms and more trading outfits hopping on the bandwagon. It took them a long time, but hey, you know, I believe in these, and let me show you why. I'm going to show you the same time period. This is about 850 something. I don't know why they did that. 8:56, I think, something like that, to about 11 o'clock as we span from yesterday to today. And here is, look at that bar right there. I wonder, that has to be a bad tick, doesn't it? It's got to be something weird in there. Let's look at the same vehicle, the same gold. We're going to look at instead of a 5-minute, we're going to look at one of our charts. I think this is what we call a one-step. Now, guys, this is the same market, the same time span, 8:50 something to 11 o'clock. Which one? This one had, I mean, count them, count the reversals, count the turns in this thing, and I lost count after 24. 24. There's even more than that if you take the small one. Now look at this one. There's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These were so geometric, so angular, and so when the market went red, it generally stayed bearish. When it went bullish, it stayed. And it was so cool. I had to develop, or was able to develop, all new signals that didn't exist in the world prior to me coming along. Including our trend lines breakout. It's called trend line breakout. It's not like the normal breakout signals like you see. Then we have the UA, and we have the SA, and we have the oh gosh, we have quick change, the supreme momentum. We've got a bunch of them. But you can see how and I filter mine. I don't let it give me signals down in here. I don't want them that far down the road. I want them early in the turn. And this one right here had 91 bars. This is a 22-1, and what that means is the bars themselves, the red and the blue colored part, are your Renko bars. Now they lie to you. The market didn't open up there on these bearish bars. It didn't open up there. So we created the open, high, low, close version of the Renko Supreme. So we can look and see exactly where the market opened, what was the high that it reached, what was the low that it reached, and where was it closing. The close is of each bar is 1 tick lower than the close of the previous bar on a 22-1. The bars themselves are 22 ticks. Now that's on the colored part. The colored part. They will have these little tails that stick up there. And we call those BRs. It's an acronym for bottle rocket, because it's kind of what they look like, a little stick, and then the firecracker engine strapped on there kind of looks like one. But these can be anything. This is just what I call my one-step bar. I could make that a 20-10, an 8-4, a 10-7. A 5-2. You pick a number, any number, and it's going to give you some really interesting configurations in the market. But you'll have that beautiful. It's almost like a glue that keeps these colors together before the market finally can't go that extra tick, and then it collapses only to start a new direction. Amazing, amazing bar. And allowed me to, as I mentioned, create a whole slew of new signals because these, formerly, a lot of the common indicators that traders use, like the Bollinger Bands and Keltners and things, you don't even recognize them when you put them on these charts. They look really weird. They will have, I don't know if I can draw here, but well, I can't, I don't know where my drawing tools went. But anyway, you'll see them, and they look like big old eggs held together with narrow channels, and straight as an arrow, and then you'll have another big rounded top and rounded bottom. Strange looking things, but I don't use them. I don't use Bollingers. I don't use a lot of the tools. In fact, we created a lot of the tools that I trade by. But that's a 22-1. Here's a 16-8. That means each bar, the red and the blue, are 16 ticks tall, and the step size, instead of 1 tick from bar to bar to bar, these are 8 ticks. 8 ticks. There's the close of that bar, then 8 ticks, 16, 24. And it's just that's one of my favorite time frames to trade, by the way. And you can see the signals here. Now, this is BD. That stands for basic divergent. I didn't invent divergence, but I've been working on it and trying to make it perform with more accuracy than a lot of. I was meeting a lot of traders and I was teaching them divergence, but they just had a devil of a time trying to identify when a divergent signal was going to work and when it wasn't going to work, and so I started. The characteristics of a good divergent signal are form, volatility, and market condition. And when I have good form and market condition, I don't mind going to counter trend. I have a ball going counter trend. Half my trades are counter trend trades. Hidden divergence is another one. A lot of traders know of hidden or reverse divergence. The stub signals, and then we have other signals that don't exist outside of Felton trading. But this is using divergence. This is called the stretch W basic divergence formation. When this thing comes down, when this drops, here, let me show you. I'll just outline the W. See how it comes down, and this is just noise here. A little kickback of 2 bars, that's just noise. So this is all one big bearish move, comes up to a high out here, comes back down to the double bottom, and we have to have divergence on an oscillator. I don't need it because my program, Signal Pro here, finds it for me. It also tells me what are the odds expressed as a percentage of the market continuing in my trade direction. It does a lot of things, amazing things. There's a Fibonacci out here. I used to have to drag my Fibonacci out, and I'm only interested in one level, and it's not a Fibonacci number, 50%. This works so beautiful. And this is now this isn't all the profit that is often packed in a trade like this, but you'd be surprised at how often price will come up, hit 50% to the tick, and bounce away. Many times never to come back. Well, never say never, but not for a long time. You'd be long stopped out of the trade before it ever came back to that level again. So I like 50%. And it's easy to teach. I don't have to, to me, Fibonacci's are fascinating, but I'm sitting here and I say, okay, this is a basic divergence. That's going to go to the 125 level, or 127, or 82, or 62.2, or 38A. Who knows, man? I can't. I'm just, my poor pea brain never has found accuracy in Fibonacci. A lot of traders do, and boy, they do wonders. I love to watch a good Fibonacci trader. But to me, this is simpler. You get in, you look at the stretch W here. You get in, you're going long here. When the bar closes, you put your stop 1 tick beyond the tail of that bar, and you go to 50%. So you know exactly where to get in the market because it marks it for you. It tells you what price that bar is going to close. It tells you exactly where to put your stop. And it tells you exactly to the tick where to get out. I don't know how a trader could have those 3 things and know those 3 things and help but make money. By the way, I don't trade stocks, but I'll show you when we go to the live market what that looks like. This is just the inverse. This is the stretched M. Same principle. Get in here at the double top. The code tells you, it tells you audibly and visibly. It does everything but grab you by the shirt collar and say, hey, get ready, we're going south. You get in at the close, put your stop at the top of the tail, and go for 50%. And I can see by my price channel that that's all it did. It kicked back and went blue right from that level right there. And that's nothing uncommon about that. Here's another one here. It wasn't quite the stretch. That's just more of a regular garden variety basic divergence signal right there. It's a stretching basic divergence. You know, the M, as Dale pointed out, the M's for shorts and the W's for long. Signal Pro does a lot of things for me in addition to putting the signals out there. You guys, a lot of traders, when they pull the trigger on a trade, before they do that, they look at, maybe they're trading a 1-minute chart. And before they pull the trigger, they want to see what's going on the 3-minute, maybe a 5 or a 7, maybe a 10 or a 15. They just want to check and see, am I trying to swim upstream, or you know, should I stay in for bigger profits? What's the big picture and what the market's trying to do? This does it for me. It tells me as the market transitions from very bullish to completely bearish. Well, before I take a short, I need to have no green dots in here. All the green dots have to fade away. I don't mind some yellows. Those are neutral. Same thing with the whites. Those are kind of neutral. But I want to say have the majority of red dots here, and then take that short, take that short, take this one, take the bottle rocket, and go have fun. All right, let's go to the live market. Last time I saw it was breathing. This is the live market. Can everybody see this okay? Got hey, people will invariably ask, hey, does this work in the ES, or does this work in stocks? Yeah, I said stock. Guy's the only one, because I don't trade stocks. The only one I had access to was Netflix. But you can see there's your double top. That's your basic divergent short up there, and down it goes. And yeah, this thing went for 20 miles as it dropped out here. But you know, you get Netflix and you're in that one at 22, they call it 423, and you hop out at 2185. You know, not too bad. Not too bad day's work. When it, by the way, when it gets, like if I were actually trading this, which I wouldn't, because it's stock, but as this comes down, if it's that close to a support level, I'll stay in. It's almost like a tractor beam. My programmer came up with these things all by himself, and these things are so accurate, I use them as targets, my support and resistance levels. I used to use them just to stay out of trouble, but they are really amazing. Now here we go again. As this drops down, just remember, the market has an obsession to get back at least 50%. 50%. Of course, if it makes it here, it'll make it to the red. But watch it. Watch this thing. Boom. Well, you make a nice little profit over here, and then a nice little profit coming back, and up it goes, and it slices right on through everything. Just fires right back up. It goes. You know, I don't 100% target in the markets I trade. 50% targets are hit anywhere from 86, 87% to 90, 91, 92%. That's a good target. Call it 90% probability. It gets to 100% about 40 to 45% of the time. So yeah, there's more money up here, but more opportunity to miss the bus. Okay, That's stock. All right, here's the ES. Now, this is a very simple little technique using a balance of power indicator and another little indicator called the Felton momentum, FT momentum. Two indicators we created, and when they work, I was just fooling around about a week ago, and came across this, and it's something I'm just playing with. But I really like it, and if it holds up for another month or so, we're going to put it in Signal Pro. If it shows that it has staying power and robust. What I look for is on these two time frames. One is an 8-4. I like 8-4 because 4 ticks. Well, if I just took one bar, that would be a point in the ES. And $50 a contract. Then over here is 16-8, so that's 8 ticks spread between the close of one bar and the close of the next. That'd be 2 points. So I'd say I want the 2 points. I want to get 2 points per pop, but I want to get a couple of bars, 2 or 3 bars. So we see right here we've got, and there's that Signal Pro, by the way, marks your 50% pullback now on it, so I don't have to get out my Fibonacci tool, modified Fibonacci. This is a stub signal, and you need a signal, and I can take a signal 1 bar later, but I want to see down here, I want to see bullish, I want to see a cyan bar that comes up to or preferably through that little horizontal yellow dotted line, and I want to see the blue down here. I want to see bullish, and this one would be right over here. Let me move it over one, bring it up here. Now look over at your smaller chart, the little 8-4, and he's got to be telling me the same story. I need a cyan bar on the balance of power, and I need the blue down there on the Felton momentum, and of course I need a blue bar up there in price. So that one matches up just perfect. Hop in here, and we're already at what would be my initial target, or maybe 1 bar. If I'm already at where I would normally want to go, I take 2 bars out here. So that would be 16 ticks, and I'm out. Over here, once again, we're all lined up. Bullish on both panels, 2 and 3, on both charts. The blue bar, we're in at the close of this bar, and when it hits resistance up here, you got to be careful. There are times when you can stay because it'll punch through, but we teach that in the training. But if you just wanted 2 bars, there you are. Then look at that thing go. You say, man, I only took 2 bars. Hey, you got 16 ticks. Quit grabbing. You're going to have another trade here in just a minute. Over here, I call this a slingshot and inverted. The 2 red bars, red, blue, red, physically resemble a slingshot or a goalpost or a tuning fork, whatever you want to call it. But the blue would be the handle, and the 2 red ones would be the post that you hook the rubber band to for a kid's slingshot. But there you go. You're all bearish on the 16-8, and you're all bearish on the 8-4. Going to take that down to the 50%, which is right down here. That's that little red dotted line, and boom. See how it came down there almost to the tick? That's why when I set my target, it's 1 tick shy of that, because so often it hits it and bounces away. Comes up here. This is a basic divergence. Now I'm not as critical on. I'm not as picky on double tops as a lot of traders. If when it came down, it goes up 80% of that or more, that's good enough. I call that a technical double top. And right here in the code 5 say it knows what I want, and it says, yeah, by your definition, you got a double top, and you would have the lower high left to right on the oscillator. which technically wouldn't be divergence, but it works as well as any other double top formation. There we go, got yellow on the arrow, and we've got red on the bar. We got bearish on everything on the 2 time frames and both panels, so we're going short. Where are we going? We're going to once again come on down to the 50% here, and boom, there we are. And that would have been 8, 16, 24. It could be, you know, it could be 30 ticks there. So it, you know, a couple of bars be some serious money. Here we got the alignment here, and up we go, and up we go, and up we go. Here's a short right here. Remember this, that there really wasn't much of a 50% out here. You could take it to you know, if I just don't have a target, I take 2 bars. If I have a target, it might be resistance up here, I go for that. And here's the 50% marker, and the ES is, you know, as yet. What this is going to do, you can watch it tomorrow and watch the ES. Here's what it'll do. It'll come down here to some point, come back up to some kind of a double top, could be a technical, then come on down here. That's too big of a run for it to normally get it all back in one swoop. It can, and sometimes it does, but it's tough. All right, let me get another one of my favorites out here. This will be oil. I like oil, gold, soybeans, gosh, you name it. Copper. Copper is another good one. And here it is. I got a 20-10, so he's saying, okay, my bars are 20 ticks. My step size, the difference between the close of one bar here and the close of the next, is 10 ticks. And these pay $10 per tick per contract. Since I'm trading 2 contracts, it's 20 bucks. 20 bucks profit per trade. So you can just, you know, you can watch it. I will. I'll even show you one of these trades. It was the last trade I took today. It was later in the afternoon, so it's not going to go on on my stats. The stats will be $1,302, wasn't it? Something like that. Here's one. Here's everything aligns there, looking good. I wish it had it here. Darn, I wish it had it there on that one. And well, no, it didn't. It didn't. It gave out on the. It didn't give me the cyan blue right here. Didn't give it to me. But up we go, and here I got it. Here I got it. Stop goes here, entry goes here, and away we go. Take it to resistance, or take it to the next level if you like. Here's one of those double tops. Double tops. Now this is telling me, man, I want to come down here. I want to come down to my 50%. It's what I do. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. And really what they're telling me, when price comes up and breaks out of here, he says, I'll get at least 2 bars back for you. So when I have a losing trade, that wouldn't necessarily be a loser if I just took a couple of bars here. But on the breakout, he says, I'll get, you know, set your stop, you know, down here, and I'll get you. So he didn't come down to get you. Set your stop and go for 2 bars, 3 bars. It'll be there. Depends on the market. And here we are out here to the current market. This is the live market. Now there was a trade that I took out here in oil, and let's see if I can find where that one were. That was here, right there. that was a trade that I took. I believe that's the one. And let me bring it up here. So I just said, oh, I'm gonna video this one. This is the one that put. See, I was at 1302.50, and so I'm gonna pick up $300 here. I'm gonna go for 15 ticks, and away we go. Let's just click the little play button here. So the order is filled, and you can see this whole trade took 30 seconds. Now I didn't realize that it was only capturing half of the the first. I thought it was capturing my other chart over there, my smaller one, but it wasn't. So I had to bring that one up here. You'll see it in a second. I drug it over here. And here it is right here. So you can see I'm in right here, and everything was confirming right there. Everything confirmed right here. And away we go. The whole thing took about 30 seconds. And there it was. Bumped me from 1302 to 1602. And so, yeah, you can see these in real time. There's a lot of times in webinars, you see all this stuff and say, oh, man, that looks great. But you can't see it in real time. Man, it's hard. It's almost impossible with some of them. Okay, let's go back to our PowerPoint, finish this up. And we have a trading room. It's open Monday through Friday. Starts at Central Time, 8 a.m., goes till noon. The final hour is training. I clicked the wrong one here. The final hour is training, and it's interactive. You can ask any question anytime you want, and it is open to students and also what we call our paid trial. Well, they're students because we train them. There's an old Chinese proverb that what I hear, I forget. What I see, I understand. But what I do, I learn. There's a big difference between understanding and learning. You can understand how a bicycle works, but you haven't learned how to ride it. You can watch it all day long, but you're not going to learn until you get on the thing and probably fall over a few times. But there's so much truth in that. I never forgot it. Well, to get the knowledge to succeed, we have just recently started a 30-day trial. We can expand it if you'd like, but a 30-day trial where you understand how this works by watching and receiving unlimited mentorship. I wish I had time, guys. I just can't do that much in 45 minutes. But you're going to learn a lot coming in. If you just come into the trading room for a week, you're going to, by the end of the week, you're going to be a better trader, and you're going to learn a whole lot of really cool things. But you'll learn by actually trading on Signal Pro. Trade with one of the most powerful precision-coded software programs available, and I'll put this up against anybody. But there is a learning curve. I had a guy in a webinar one time that said, "Oh, you mean I got to learn something? I'm looking for the software. I just buy it, install it, turn it on, and it does everything for me. And I just sit back and collect a never-ending check. You got anything like that?" No. And traders like that, they wonder why they're struggling, but they just don't want to spend time gaining the knowledge. You don't have to be a Mensa candidate. You just it's all knowledge. The difference between a consistently winning trader and a consistently struggling trader is just knowledge. That's all it is. It's what they know. All right, the Signal Pro software 30-day trial. You can say this is just some of the things. There's not even half of the things the software does. We'll teach you. We'll teach you anything you want to know about it. We have free live training Monday through Friday. And we show you in the room with our trading that what we teach you actually works numerous times all day long. And then for the final hour, we hold training Monday through Friday. Friday is extensive training. You get free personal mentorship anytime. What does that mean? That means you said, okay, I'm gonna try that software. That looked pretty good, but I want Roger to teach me everything he knows about trading. And a few days into it, you say, man, I've got some questions. There's some things I need to know. I want him to look at my trades and tell me, am I doing this right? Well, you're not going to ask that in a classroom training session. So you'll get with me, you and me. We log into the room, and we can do it in any afternoon. We can get together one-on-one any evening. I have students and trial members that the only time they can get with me is 9 o'clock at night, from 9 to 11. Hey, if you work and that's the only time we can get together, that's when we can get together. Or weekends. Some traders just, man, they're slammed all week, all Monday through Friday, and say, hey, can we get together from 10 to noon or 10 to 1 on Saturday? Absolutely. What's it going to cost? Nothing. Nothing. If you become a student, it's forever. You know, this is 30 days, but doesn't cost you a dime, and you get together with me as much as you want. Access to the Felton trading room anytime, you know, Monday through Friday. You're there. You're our special guest. It's a 1-month trial with unlimited training and unlimited personal one-on-one mentorship. It's a $500 value for just $149. $149. I don't know anybody that would get with you. We could get together every night for 30 days if you want. What's that worth? Let's break it down. The Signal Pro software, regularly $300 a month. The trading room access, regularly $199. That's $500, guys. And the professional training, I don't know even what price you put on that, what value. The unlimited access to my one-on-one mentorship. You get it all for $149. There's a couple of trading room comments. You'll see these things. Hey, I got one loser, and I had today, and that was one where I broke my rule. That's Chris Tomarelli. You'll meet her if you come in the room. And then Clint F., not Clint Hager, but one of our students. He's trying Roger's system on a 16-8 chart with 2 bars, works well. Gold, he made 5 ticks and 18 ticks all in one trade, 23 ticks. Hey guys, our sincere thanks to Reed Chapman and everybody at the Investor Inspiration Workshop. We are so proud to have been a part of this group and look forward to doing many more. Plus, our attendees, we like to thank you guys, too, for letting us help you become a better trader. I'm sure you have questions, and traders always do, because it's new stuff. It's not complicated, it's just new. Anyone wanting additional personal instruction can schedule a free one-on-one session with me anytime. No obligation whatsoever. We don't even have a sales department, guys, so nobody's going to bug you, email you, or call you on the telephone. We just don't do it. We'll answer your questions, but it's your decision if you would like to join us.